spot check and also see if everything is as per the guidelines. We provide them guidelines for cultivation and all the necessary operations to be taken. So the just before the harvest, we visit and make sure the right moisture to harvest and things like that. Because ultimately, my team's responsibility is to make sure the the seed that produced in the field maximum highest percentages goes through the market. So the right.
Yeah. So if you agree for recording, you can press OK. Yes.
Sure.
So I know you have a production team or only evaluation team with you?
Evaluation team. So
Yeah.
production team is our stakeholders. We work very closely with them.
Mm.
Um, my team is focused on making sure we produce high quality products, and that goes to the market with all the required quality information on the label. So I'll cover a bit of that in my presentation. So how exactly we do it. So um, that's what company's reputation depends on the type of quality product we deliver to our growers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my current key responsibility.
So your seed is distributed to only US market or outside US?
Oh, the 29 countries
Okay.
we sell. I mean, we produce and we sell seeds in more than 70 to 80 countries. So, yeah.
But then locally produced there in different countries or
Yeah.
US market?
Yeah, the corn produced locally. That's for the local market. We produce locally, whereas vegetable seeds are produced at one place or maybe two locations and then distributed globally.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Thailand, India, and Chile are the top, and Europe are the top vegetable producing countries.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's good. So therefore you need to travel to all these places frequently.
correct, correct. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah. So your task therefore is not only to field crops, it is for vegetables as
yeah,
well as all type of
yeah.
crops.
Vegetables and row crops. Yeah, field crops.
Okay. So what about your drought guard seeds now?
Ah, drought guard. I have a small snippet on that.
Uh,
It's been marketed in Western US.
oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's if you heard about the state called Wichita,
Mm.
Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the areas we find drought scenarios. So those are the places which currently being sold, and we are also working in Africa along with um, external sponsors to license this product to the local genetics. So with as a philanthropic effort.
But it was released in Africa first, right? Only for targeting
Gates
Africa first.
Gates Foundation, through Gates Foundation we are
Uh,
popularizing this trait in that region. So for free of no technology fee being charged. So that's kind of a philanthropic effort.
okay.
Yeah.
That's very good. So I
Yeah.
think it is not in active form, but it's in active form means it's very, satisfying. That's nice.
Yeah. It's almost 2012 we launched,
Yeah.
13 years. The
Yes, yes.
product is still in the market. Yeah. In fact, I recently got the seed for some of the hybrids for some laboratory test. It is
Oh,
interesting.
very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So this is the kind of satisfying moment from your,
Yeah,
wet lab, right? Wet lab to field.
exactly. So I was part of the initial discovery of the gene. So I'll cover that in my
Oh,
presentation.
yeah, I know.
So
I know. Yeah,
uh,
great, great, great. Let's not mess it up now talking about it. Yes, still we have 10 minutes. 10 or how many? Yeah, 1 minute to go. Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll start exactly at 9:30. I hope everybody is ready there. Ganesh Murthy and others.
Sir, we are ready, sir.
Okay. For the benefit of students, I just want to tell you that Ganesh is an excellent researcher and a great cricketer. So please make sure that you harvest everything from Ganesh. Concentrate on the talk.
ಕಡೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ
Please note down your queries and questions.
ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್
We are
ಲೈಕ್
able to take the questions now. We will pass it on. Make sure that you all have something noted down as well as questions. Yeah, we may start. Padmaja, please. Over to you.
Yeah. Good morning, all. With a great pleasure, I am introducing today's guest speaker, Dr. Ganesh Kumar. He is an accomplished agriculture scientist with a PhD in crop physiology and over 24 years of seed industry experience in Monsanto and Bayer companies, and also 7 years in academia. Raised in an agricultural family in India, he specializes in plant and seed physiology, abiotic stress, plant hormones, trait characterization, and seed quality testing. Dr. Kumar's notable achievements include discovering the drought tolerant gene BSCSPB, leading to the development of the Drought Guard, the world's first biotech drought product, and also co-inventing 5 tissue-specific promoters. He also pioneered in seed quality testing technologies and fostered industry academic collaboration. Currently, Dr. Kumar serves as Global Seed Physiology Innovation Lead at Bayer Crop Science USA, and also is a Bayer Science Fellow and Vice Chair of International Seed Testing Agency's Advanced Technologies Committee. He is recognized for his collaborative leadership, strategic vision, and commitment to the sustainable agricultural innovation, and has received multiple awards, including the Society of Asian Scientific and Engineers Career Achievement Award. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, sir, for this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the kind introduction. It's my pleasure to participate in this, an excellent initiative that's university is being running from the last several years. So today, the opportunity was given to me. I would like to make sure I utilize to the fullest extent. Um, I'm going to share my slide just to kick off the presentation. Someone can really confirm whether you're seeing the full deck.
Yes,
Yes.
Dr. Ganesh, it is visible. It's full screen. You can go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. You're still seeing the slide and you can hear me, right?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
go ahead.
Excellent. So, first of all, good morning, my dear students and friends, faculty, and the key officials of Agriculture University for giving me this opportunity. When I approached by Natraj for this topic and the presentation, I just asked Nataraj to give me some guidance on what should be the talk outline for this. They gave me a topic called Science for Society, which rightly fits into the vision and the mission of Bayer. The Bayer mission is health for all, hunger for none. Bayer has a company, is a corporation, has in multiple business segment, including pharma, consumer health, and also the ag sector. So the research and the innovation what we do, it is squarely connected and also targeted to the society. So I thought it's a great topic. And while talking to Nataraj, I learned that since it is I'm addressing the young budding scientists, future entrepreneurs, and most of the PG students, that's my target audience. So Nataraj asked me to kind of connect, my experience and the learnings in addition to the science in today's presentation. So what I'm going to do today is largely I will talk about how I accomplish what that has been done so far, and what are some of the things along the way I learned that actually helped me to get to the place where I am today. I'll bring in element of science, but at the same time I'll try to connect with some soft skills, some learnings along the way. So that's pretty much the topic. So it will be light on the content, but I'll be sharing most of my experiences. And as Nataraj mentioned in the beginning, kindly write down your questions. If there is an opportunity, we'll do a Q&A today. Otherwise, we'll find another mechanism to reach back to you all with your questions. So the agenda for me is, let me walk you through some brief introduction about myself, and then I will spend about some 15-20 minutes on the career path, which includes some of the accomplishment I made, and also some of the learnings I've gained during my journey, my career journey. And also I'll talk about some agriculture innovation and their impact on society. This is the second part of my presentation. Let's look at some technologies what currently being utilized for agricultural innovation side. So the brief introduction about my background. I'm currently lead the global seed physiology innovation. I'm part of this biological and chemical sciences team located in St. Louis, United States of America. So I come from a small village in coastal Karnataka. That's where I was born and raised in Bangalore. All my higher education was done in Bangalore. I got my BSc Agri, MSc, and PhD from the University of Agricultural Sciences in 1999. And I joined Monsanto Research Center at IASC campus in 1999. I worked on multiple projects. Some of the notable projects I worked on is rice functional genomics and promoted discovery. Around 2006, I was got an opportunity to get an intra-company transfer to come and work in St. Louis. I'll probably share a bit about how that happened, which is something an important aspect of my career shift. So there are some attributes which I exhibited was actually observed and noticed by your leadership, and that helped them make that decision. So and then from 2006 to 2015, I was part of the biotech organization where I was engaged in the product development, especially the biotech or a transgenic product development. I led the phase 1 projects, and I also led some portion of my tenure at biotech. I also led the crop physiology team, which is engaged in trait characterization at the time. In 2015, I took a cross-functional move, completely moved out of the discovery and the bench science towards product supply, where it is more customer focused, commercial focused activities. I wanted to get more closer to the growers and the farmers. So this role actually gave me an opportunity to engage myself in that space. And the technical aspect, this role has both technical, commercial, and also grower or the farmer interaction. So I still carry the seed physiology as my core technical expertise, and I was engaged in seed quality testing in this particular role. And I also spent quite a bit of time working with our commercial organization, and also I make constantly I visit growers across the globe to make sure we provide high quality seeds to our growers. So learning from the interaction is very helpful for me. Professionally, I'm a science fellow at Bayer. I was recognized with this um, honor in 2015, and I'm professionally very proud to say that I was involved in the drought guard hybrid discovery, the initial phase of the discovery. This product was launched in 2012, and that gave a lot of visibility to my technical expertise in this space. I'm proficient in both the row crops and vegetable crops from the whole plant physiology point of view. So that gives a kind of a unique opportunity for me to work across the organization. So this is something goes back to our training in agricultural university, where we exposed to all multi cropping patterns, crops, and those knowledge actually certainly help when you move into your career in different organization and setup, which I'll probably spend a little bit more detail in the subsequent slides. And regarding fun fact, I think Nataraj mentioned that I'm an avid team sports enthusiasts. I play cricket. I represented University of Agricultural Sciences in 92 to 94, I think. So we still play cricket in Bayer. We have a team, Bayer team, and we use this opportunity to do some community outreach. We normally run some tournaments to raise fund. That fund actually goes for some philanthropic activity in St. Louis area. Regarding my personal side, I'm married to Amulya. She's a homeopathy doctor. And my daughter is Inchara. She's a rising senior in St. Louis University. She's majoring in public health, and she's interested in dentistry in her future career plan, I think. So currently, we reside at St. Louis, and this is a place in the last 19 years we are in the Midwest of area of the St. Louis. So that's about my background. Let me walk you through, where it started. It's all, I have a very humble beginning. My career journey began in a small village near Udupi called Nancha in the Karnataka state of India. So you can see in the map, I'm so proud to see that Nanchar is considered as one of the very underdeveloped village at that time. There was no much connectivity because of you must have heard about coastal villages are very difficult to have connectivity because of lack of bridges and things like that in those days. Of course, now things have changed. And I born into an agricultural family. We grew paddy, aracanut, coconut, and that is my early days. And I've seen in my in the initial phase of my life the kind of challenges and the stress the farmers or growers are going through because of this environmental vagaries, unpredictable conditions, lack of commodity price. There was agriculture was never a kind of a lucrative option, but that also motivated me to think through how I can make some changes here, what I can do here to do something to bring some changes in this space. It was on my mind with early phase of my life. And then I started my education in government school. It's called Sarkari Kiriya Prathamika Shala Nanchar. That's where my early education was began, and I'm really proud to say that one of our our own member, an esteemed scientist in the university, also was part of the school. None other than Nataraj Karba. We both actually went to this school. Nataraj was my senior in school, and we both ended up in later in the college, same department. So it's a wonderful association. So I would say that. And then after my education, higher education, I worked in Bangalore and then moved to St. Louis for to continue my career option. So let me walk you through how the journey has been. So this is a slide which I'll spend a little bit time to explain to you some of the important aspect what I accomplished during this career journey. So how did I arrive at where I am today? My career path travels across continents and functions. If you look at in Bayer current workforce, very small percentage of the people or the employees have this, I would say, either opportunity or the distinction of working across continents and across functions. And it takes a lot of, I would say, agility to make such moves. So that is something I'm really, of looking backwards now, some of the decisions I made was really kind of helped me to get to where I am today. But some of them are very, I would say, require a lot of courage and to make those decisions. And I was not alone while making those decisions, because I was always supported by my family, my friends, my coaches, my mentors. More than anything, the people around me helped me to make those decisions. So therefore, the lesson I learned is have those networks, have those support system around you. That is always important when you are making some of those, I would say, difficult decisions. So to start with, as I said, soon after my primary education from my native place, I came to Bangalore for my higher secondary schools, and then I joined University of Agriculture Sciences in '87, and then I was there for solid 12 years in the campus. I did my BSc AG, MSc, and PhD all from in the same campus. During this period, my I was fortunate enough to get sufficient guidance from my senior friends, especially when I made a decision to move to masters. I got ICR fellowship. That was actually helped by the coaching and guidance from my senior friends and my faculty from the Department of Crop Physiology. That actually gave me a good, I would say, um, it gave me a lot of confidence so that I can do something in this space. And then, of course, the PhD and during that period, I had a very productive time. I produced a science article which is published in Theoretical Applied Genetics, which helped me to get a job in Monsanto Research Center in 1999. So I got some initial projects was little challenging for me. It was not the straightforward. Navigating through to an industry, it takes a lot of effort. So what my learning there is, the first 2 to 3 years or maybe 5 years, I would say, is very critical. So what one has to do is, you in those time, like they call it in the corporate terminology, they call it securing the base. So the securing the base is the key part for an individual to grow in that space. So that means you need to have very strong technical skill set, or whatever your strength may be. People should identify you for that particular expertise. Once you get that kind of a reputation, then things will become a lot more easier for you. So it will be helpful to champion your case, ask for career growth. So all those things can come only when you demonstrate that you can deliver, and you are like a go-to person for a given skill set. That's a tag one should be able to earn in that first 2 to 3 years. That I think I managed to earn that because of, as I mentioned to you, the drought gene discovery that gave a kind of confidence in the leadership, that he has the ability to produce some good science, and that science can be beneficial in producing product for the company. That gave visibility, that work, and leaders in St. Louis, they became aware of my contribution, because the work what we did, drought gene work, that work was presented in the Wall Street in 2002 by our CTO at that time, Rob Ferrelli, and then he announced in 2002 in the Wall Street that by 2012 we are going to launch a drought product, a biotech drought product. He made that announcement 10 years ahead of the launch date. And that was the confidence probably he had, or some big leaders, they actually put this vision out and then asked the scientists to work on it. I think that was his strategy probably. But we were fortunate enough to convert that discovery into product by 2012. In fact, we launched the product. That was, I would think, is a great milestone in my career, and as well as in the company's performance as well. And 2006 to 15, that's where I got a chance to work in yield and stress program. I could leverage some of the technologies and the learnings what I gathered during my master's and PhD program. I could put to use in a full extent in that space. So that gave a kind of a reputation that any crop physiology, plant physiology related questions, the people used to approach me and take my advice. So that once you get into that level, then it becomes a lot more easier to influence the organization to adopt new technologies, new solutions, and also help generate more project for you and your team. And then, as I said, in 2015, I moved to product supply area, where I got the complete exposure to commercial side of the business. So all along my career, I had an opportunity to either publish or get some patents. So this has helped me to build a good reputation, both internal and also external. And besides, I also externally engaging with ISTA and other organizations, which helped me to connect with the external world. So this is the career path, and as I mentioned, it needs to be right time, right place, and also having some your expertise to be exposed, and then you get best out of those expertise. And the technical skill is is important, but not sufficient. So you need to have soft skills. So you should be since we're all technically trained, innovate and experiment. That's our key component. We should be excellent in those areas, and collaborate and connect, because in the industry, not only in industry, in any given space, we cannot do alone great invention and discoveries. We have to be collaborating with others, making sure we get right kind of complementarity for when you're thinking about a project. So these collaborate and connect mindset is very important for the growth, and also for the to discover something which is really worthwhile and valuable. And accountability is another aspect which is very important, that makes you who you are, and people build trust in us when we have this accountability attribute. And in industry, it is very key, play to win. So we always have to make product, and have the mentality of competitiveness, and winning is important. I know failure is part of that, but end of the day, what counts is what you can deliver and how you can win with confidence, and also considering all the competition around you. So how you are utilizing your skill set, your support system, to make progress, it counts a lot. And finally, grow yourself and others. That is a constant growth mindset is very important, and also at the same time you should also help others, those who need your help and association to grow them as well. So this is a slide which actually encompasses my entire career, so I thought it needs that amount of time to talk to you. So and then some few examples I would like to quote here, what exactly we did in this space. My training in craft physiology prepared me for the career in Bayer. It is 100% at the university, which enabled, like me, like many scientists who came out of the university, the training what we get in our institutes are immense benefit for us. So therefore, my advice to you, the young, those who are PG and early part of your PhD career, make the best use of the system, make the best use of the time, and try to acquire and absorb as much as possible. But once you go out of the university, your learning takes a different shape and mode because you are responsible for so many other things. So you have to really, really, really work hard to spend take out time for enriching your knowledge and expertise. Whereas when you're in the university, that's an opportunity you should try to engage yourself. And I'd like to also thank my PhD advisor, Professor Uday Kumar, who played a major role in shaping my scientific career, and also my personality, and the person who I am today. That is mostly influenced by the people around me. And I used to spend a lot of time with Professor Uday Kumar during my PhD. So he taught me the passionate, how one can be passionate about science. And he taught me the teamwork is the key, and collaboration. Those who have known Professor Uday Kumar, I think you will understand it very clearly. And then early part, my technical competencies and collaborative approach, what I've acquired through my training in the university, helped me to get to the next level. That really helped me achieving early success and visibility in the organization. So as I mentioned, the CSPB gene, that's a cold tolerance gene that was nominated by from the scientists from St. Louis. They saw some response in Arabidopsis, and as you know, Arabidopsis is a model system. And then we tested that in rice, which is a surrogate for monocot, a surrogate for corn. So we use that as a model system to show it gives a drought tolerance in rice. That was the work I was actually engaged in. And then we nominated to corn pipeline in the US, and they transformed this gene into corn, and they showed that there is significant benefit under drought condition. There was a 10% yield increase under drought situation in when they tested in the field. So therefore, they could launch as a drought guard product in 2012. And it also helped me get some publications during that period. So that was actually a bonus, because in addition to the product we launched, we had some other opportunity as well. And then the time I spent in yield and trade program, which provided me an opportunity to learn and also leverage my technical expertise. I would like to highlight here, Department of Craft Physiology has a national facility for the stable isotope discovery. That's a water use efficiency aspect. Very few institute or individuals in the globe are familiar with this technology. When I initially presented this topic in my teams here in Bayer, or that time Monsanto, there was only one or two persons I could see they're aware of it. Majority of them are never heard about it. So that means it was a pioneering work that is done in our department, our university. And I was really proud that I could convince the leadership that this is an important area we should focus on, and managed to convince the leadership to invest on the technologies necessary to do this kind of analysis in the organization, and that helped us to characterize many transgenic crops for their mode of action. So these are some of the things which I could leverage what I learned, and thereby that also enriched my contribution to the organization. And also it gave me immense pleasure that the learnings what I had during my master's and PhD could be put into use, and that was beneficial for the organization. And there is a thermal imaging picture I'm showing you. Sometimes you need to be taking a little bit of a challenge or a risk to do something really good. Before we use this approach, they were using a handheld system to measure the canopy temperature. I mean, some of you may understand canopy temperature is a surrogate for transpiration rate in the crop system. So we had a gene that altered the stomatal regulation. So we wanted to show that it is demonstrated in the field condition. So they did the handheld using a single handheld tool to measure it, and there was only random numbers. So it was not giving a good separation like between transgenic and wild type. Then we came up with this plan of using a thermal camera to take the image of entire field, where you have your control and the test in the same image. Within 3 seconds, we can snap the picture and it gives the data at that particular point of time. So we had to convince our management to use this crane to go on the top 120 feet on the canopy to take the image. And it took some time to convince because they were not sure whether it is worth it. But once we generated the data, it was highly appreciated. So my point here is sometimes you have to think out of the box and probably take some a calculated risk to get some data that is necessary to move the project or the progress. Finally, in the quality testing organization, my last 10 years, I've been in this product supply area, where I focus on quality testing, seed quality testing in the global setup. So we have about nearly 25 labs across the globe, North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and I had the great opportunity of visiting most of these labs. We have equipped this lab with the modern technology, the digital technology, where it is employed to test seed quality in these labs. And these labs actually support, nearly $12 million to $12 billion worth of business for the Bayer, and that is actually supported by these labs. Every product that is released in the market should have the label or the tag which goes with the data that is generated in these labs. So I'm engaged in connecting with these labs and making sure they have the right technology so that we can produce a highly reliable result and also ensure customer experience, because the company's reputation depends on how well the product perform in the grower's space. So the quality of the seed is very, very critical, and our team is responsible for making sure that we deliver high quality product to the in the marketplace. Okay, now that's about my career and career path, how that some of the aspect what I learned along the way helped me to get to that position. And those learnings can be adopted, acquired by anyone who's aspired to get to this kind of roles in the future. So next, I would like to give you some another 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe I will talk about some of the top innovation that's happening in agriculture. Yesterday, I would like to give a context here. When he was presenting, Dr. Monti was presenting, he mentioned a couple of things which is really kind of stuck with me. And One of the things he mentioned is so the climate change and that how that is, the climate change, grower preference are really dictating the way we are doing science today, or what we should do for next 5 to 10 years, because things are changing rapidly. So there is the innovation has to happen in parallel to mitigate some of these challenges. And he also brought up one important aspect is migration, labor scarcity, sorry, labor scarcity due to migration of labor to urban centers. So this is also causing for threat to the agriculture in the rural areas. So therefore, if you look at some of the innovations, what's happening today, mechanized farming is the key of the day, and mechanization happens at different levels. Small plot to moderate plot and a large scale mechanization. So like smallholder farmers, like in India, I think the small plot mechanization is very, very key, and there are a lot of startup companies are moving in this direction now. Synthetic fertilizer is important because the input cost has to be managed. So we need high efficient fertilizers are most important for the cropping at this point. Pesticide and herbicide, there are resistance build up in some of the existing pesticide and herbicide. There should be molecules with high potency and great efficacy are important, and a lot of research and investment is going in that space. High yielding varieties, of course, that's happening all along. Irrigation system to more crop per drop. This is a kind of system being worked out in most of the regions, and we may have to move into a geography where the marginal lands has to be brought under agricultural cultivation going forward. Because of urbanization, we are losing some of the productive lands. So these marginal lands has to be brought in with innovative irrigation system. Genetically modified crops, and if you take today, we have around 200 million acres we plant genetically modified crops, and it used to be around, when it started in 1996, it was 1.7 million. So there's a dramatic increase in happening in genetically modified crops, but still, it's about 12 to 15% of our total arable land actually. um, Precision agriculture, this is a big thing in a high-end agriculture, because every seed they treat as a factory or a income generating unit. So they fertilize at individual seed level, and they nurture it and grow and make sure we get at least more than 95% stand in the field, and also the every plant yield it to the potential. So that's a role of the precision agriculture we can see that's happening around here. Vertical farming and hydroponics is also catching up. Biological pest control for sustainability, digital technology and AI. It's also helping us to accelerate innovation, and also bringing in a lot of I would say efficiency in our agriculture practices. So why do you think we all know that? I think just to give you a context here, the global population is rising, and 2050 we are close to 9.7 billion population is going to touch, and at the same time per capita land is decreasing dramatically. 2015 it's going to 0.38 acres per capita, and demand for food will rise by 70 to 100% by 2050. So I think in Monty's presentation also he mentioned this. It is real. So all of us, like agriculture, those who are in this field as professionals, as teachers, faculty, researchers, and ag industries. So all is our responsibility to make sure we rise to the occasion to mitigate or to meet the demand. And then there are a lot of academic institutions, seed industries are really making some progress here to deliver innovations that addressing global demand for food. We have a gene editing and transgenic approach, precision breeding, and a lot of microbiome and these newer ways of enhancing yield is coming up, and also small molecules. And these are chemical molecules or some peptides, and these molecules are certainly acting as an accelerator of growth and yield. And there are several products already in the market, in Bayer and also other companies. And one of the example I want to give you is like Precision is a new smart corn system. It's being developed here in US by Bayer. It's a we call it short corn. It is almost 2 feet shorter than the current corn in the production. It's known to give a climate resilience, the stock strength, and that gives a good stability in the field. So overall, all this technology should help us in meeting the demand for food, and constant improvement is required. But from the grower's point of view, what is most important is all this technology are adding cost to the input cost. When the input cost goes up, it has a significant impact on the grower's profitability. So therefore, what as a company where we produce the seed, it's our responsibility to make sure we deliver a high quality seeds to the growers, and that way we can optimize the stand. So because a seed that is now loaded with the native trait, a transgenic trait, and a seed treatment, with all this information, it is now going into the soil, and if it is not germinating or fail to germinate, that means you're losing the dollar, the amount spent on the seed, that goes as a waste. And this will be a big impact on the farmer's income, and also overall productivity is a sustainability question as well. So what we do to therefore our mission is to delivering high quality seeds to every farm every season. That is to ensure the farmer's success. I'm really proud to say that being part of this organization, I get to play a major role here. So what we do is we adopt new technologies that are enhancing the seed quality throughout the entire journey from R&D to farmer's field. So we work very early with the product development, like with the R&D, to make sure they incorporate the trait that is necessary to provide resilience and also germinability and high vigor under extreme stress condition. And once the product comes to the product supply, where we make sure we do a right thing at a right step of the seed production to deliver a high quality seed, thereby we can mitigate the risk. So it could be production field, conditioning of the seed in the plant, or testing in the lab to make sure you deliver only high quality seed to the grower. So some of the advanced technologies that enable us to produce high quality seeds. So we start from site selection. So we use the field view is actually an image based remote sensing images were collected, and that image data will help us to identify the best part of the field for optimum yield. So when we recommend our seed production field, we make sure that we select the best quality field so that we produce the high quality seed from that particular field. And then crop monitoring, the growers has to make several decisions during the crop growth and development, be it fertilizer application, herbicide, pesticide application, and depending upon the change in the weather situation, they have to make this adjustment, and the decision has to be made. So we enable this through a remote sensing and data driven crop management. The real time data fed into the system, and based on the algorithms and also the knowledge, the predictive analytics is provided to the growers to make a right kind of decision in the right time. And overall, the productivity, especially in the seed production field, depends on how successful we are getting the pollination in the field. So it depends on the right timing. So we use some imaging technology to understand the right window for pollination, and also some of the Roundup hybridization technologies like cytoplasmic male sterility and some pollination techniques we follow to enhance and to optimize the yield in a given field. So that way there will be when you increase the yield, we can reduce the cost for that particular product. So it is highly important. Otherwise, the input cost will be passed on to the grower, which will be one of the major limitation when you have high seed cost. And harvesting, we do it on a again UAV based method where we make sure we kind of crop maturity has been taken into account, and then we segregate the field based on the homogeneous condition, and then we take those harvested material in the same batch so that you now maintain the integrity of the seed quality right from the field itself. So all this thing can happen today because of the the multispectral and imaging technology what we adopt in the in the field. And then once the seed comes to the plant where we do the drying, cleaning, and storing, and this requires a high precision technology to make sure we maintain the quality all through this process. For example, in drying, we use hot air to dry the seed to get to the moisture level of 12 to 13%, which is important so that the longevity of seed can be maintained. And some germplasm are sensitive to this temperature. We need to come up with a recipe for that. So we use something called X-ray technology to understand if there is any impact of drying temperature on particular germplasm. So then accordingly we can adjust the drying recipe to that, so you get the optimum quality. And cleaning is one of the important steps. We use the physical purity and physical appearance attributes, which is necessary to maintain a good quality seed. And we use multispectral technology to get the high quality seed and prepare and deliver to the growers. And storing is another important for seed longevity. There are different technologies currently being used. In the interest of time, I'll not go in detail with that. And finally, we the seed quality testing. It's actually a gatekeeper and make sure the quality testing labs, they test for a true to type and germinability, vigor, and also the purity, and also any kind of a, it should be free from pathogen and diseases. So again, there's a lot of scope here for bringing in new technology to accelerate the speed, accuracy, and also relevance of the technology in coming up with a good quality seed recommendation for the release to the market. So finally, as I said, all this investment, this technological advancement are aimed at delivering a high quality seeds to every farm, every season. And ultimate goal is to make sure our growers are given a best quality seed so that we can ensure their success. That is about my technological aspect. And then I have a couple of slides on the, sorry, I think I just kicked out on the on some of the aspect which I think is more important for us from the skill point of view. I just want to make sure, are you still seeing the slides? Someone can confirm.
Yes.
Okay. So besides this technological aspect in the organization, I'm also engaged in science outreach to promote talent development in crop science. So I'm part of the International Seed Testing Association. I'm a co-chair of advanced technology in that organization. So we participate in annual meetings, and we recently kicked off a new initiative called Young at ISTA initiative. This is to promote seed scientists, seed technicians, to bring them more opportunity to learn. So there is some small funding, and Bayer, I mean, I can proudly say that Bayer was one of the initial supporter of this initiative. So provide some funding for the travel so the young scientists can come to ISTA meetings and participate and learn. I'm also engaged in promoting STEM education. This is actually a Academy of Science in St. Louis. Participate in mentoring, coaching, and participating in student poster evaluation and connecting with the students locally. So this is some of the aspect I engage myself in it. And also I have maintained a strong connection with my alma mater with an intent to give back. So I'm at the stage right now, I'm, gained a lot of experience through my knowledge working with organization, interacting with different faculties. So an important aspect for me to make sure I leverage that expertise. So I visit whenever I get a chance. Visit my on vacation to my home country. I make it a point to visit my department, my university, and I also get an opportunity to interact with students. And I also participate in concept in the last 4 years we are running this. This is to as a memorial lecture for our Professor Uday Kumar and Krishna Shastri. This is one of the last year's inauguration. I think I can see that too, and our honorable VCs on the image here. Again, I'll be there for this concept meeting in person, which gives me an immense pleasure to be part of the discussion there. And also, whenever we visit, we make it a point to see what are some of the new things in the university. So last time when I was there, we had a lab and field tour. It was a great sight to see the growth in our university and our department. And one notable thing is last year we hosted Dr. Sheshashai at Bayer Crop Science. So you can see Shesha and along with students from US Bangalore. So there are 8 or 9 of us in this campus here in Bayer. And again, some of them may be familiar to you. It is a great moment for us to host from our parent organization like Alma Mater. And I would like to use this opportunity to extend my invitation to the faculty and the student. If you have an opportunity to visit US, make sure you connect with me. It will be my privilege to host you at Bayer campus in St. Louis. Some life lessons, a couple of things I would like to call out here. What helped me, I'm sure this will help you as well. Cultivate above the line leadership. It is very, very important. These attributes are always noticed, and it helps you to progress in the organization. Be responsible, solutioning, find a solution, problem solving, and be proactive so that you're not looking for any excuses. You are making sure you set for your goal, and being proactive helps you to go ahead of the curve. Be curious. It's the gateway to innovation. Always curious mind is helps you to understand new things, new ways of doing things. Remember, learning never stops. Keep enhancing your skills continuously. Growth mindset is key. And I would say 70-30-10 rule. 70 is on whenever you're working on a project, that's where you learn the maximum. And 70-20 and 10. Okay, 20 is your through a training and coaching, and 10 from your traditional learning. So learning never stops. So you always should keep learning when you are in a job or a role. Focus on networking and build relationships. Never burn bridges. We never know where you will be, and you may have to work with someone, and tomorrow that person may be your boss. So it can happen in any given situation. So maintaining relationship is very important. Prioritize outreach and give back, and stay connected to your roots. Never ever forget the roots. Roots are most important. That is a good way to stay rooted to your primary cause. So with that, I would like to acknowledge my university for giving me this opportunity, and Bayer Crop Science for for the support. So I'll stop here, Nataraj. So thank you very much for your patience hearing, and if you have any questions or comments, I'm more than happy to listen and provide my comments.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ganesh. Well said, CCC, that is courage, commitment, company of right people can take people to the level what you have reached. And we understand that always play to win. You won the match, therefore you are there. Thank you so much for a very scintillating talk. And I'll wait for different halls. If there is any specific queries.
Yeah, Dr. Ganesh, it was an inspiring talk. A
Yeah.
journey from a small village of Udupi to the global operations of BAS, and we are from the North Block Auditorium. We have a few questions from our students. Please respond to these questions.
Sure.
Hello, sir. Good morning. This is Akash, junior MSc student.
Go ahead, Akash.
Sir, this is Akash, junior MSc student, Department of Agricultural Meteorology. It was very informative session, sir. And my query is, as the agriculture is the dynamic and diversified nature in our country, and also in many of the technologies that is developed in the lab is getting outdated before it reaching to the land. And we Indians are good at three I's, that is idea, innovation, and imagination, but we are lacking the major I, that is implementation. That's why, as the technological advancements takes place in geometrical manner, parallelly the technological implementation gap is also rocketing in an exponential manner. What is your view or suggestion to reduce this technological gap of to adopt this implementation of this advanced innovation in farmers field? Because as we all know, the agricultural advancements takes place or innovations takes place in farm to plate concepts. That's why yesterday also Montis sir also advised us to take up the concept of ship to seed to ship program like this. What are your valuable suggestions to research scholars like us and also key policymakers and also geopolitical officials of our India and also our state to reduce this technological implementation gap and also for the successful advancement of agricultural technology, sir?
Excellent question. Thank you for your question. I know that's a major challenge for taking a technology from development to implementation. It's industry. One of the solutions could be partnering with those who are good at implementing the technology. So what we do normally is there is a licensing opportunity if the university or academic institute develops a technology which promising. If that technology has a relevance in the field, that those institute or the individuals can partner with industry has a capability to take the technology to the final destination because of their testing capability, regulatory teams, and all the necessary elements required for commercializing an idea or a technology that is there with the industries at this point. So that could be one solution, Ma, for your question. So partnering and licensing your innovation.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any queries from the South Block, please?
Good morning, sir. This is Vanshika from Science and Technology Department, PhD first year. And sir, may I ask you what are some advanced seed testing technologies that are being adopted in your seed testing laboratories that you talked about in your presentation?
Excellent. Our success depends on how well our product perform in the growers field. So the performance is nothing but initially to establish a stand. That means it should have a right level of vigor under margin under suboptimal condition. It should be able to grow. So what we do is we develop regular vigor test under suboptimal condition. Besides that, we also adopt digital technology, which could be X-ray or multispectral technology that can be very helpful in identifying some physical attributes like physiological attributes and also biochemical attributes that are necessary for seed performance. So these days we have very high-end multispectral technology that can be used for understanding the seed longevity and also performance in the field. So Bayer is a pioneer and innovator, adopts these new technologies as and when it's available to the organization. So yeah, we encourage such technologies. So which is something these days if you go to Europe, if you take even the small companies, they have a high-end technology. So the digital technology catching up really well in the seed testing space.
And may I ask one more thing, sir? You showed in one of your slide in under genetic purity, there was a term firewall. May I know what is that?
Excellent question. The firewall is making sure unintended traits are not released to the market.
Okay.
Say when I say unintended, there could be a genetic transgenic product which is in the development but not deregulated. So by accidentally, if that seed gets into the commercial stream, then company will be in trouble. So that's what it's called firewall. Means you need to make sure when you're testing for your seeds, we need to make sure there is such unintended traits are tested or checked. Good question. Very good question.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so it's 10:30 now, so it's time for us to conclude. Any specific question from faculty? Last question.
Yes, sir, we have a question from the North Block.
Yeah, please.
Hello, Ganesh. So it was very mesmerizing talk. Hope you remember me. It's from your batch, 1987 to 91 batch. Okay. So my question is that you have identified the drought tolerant gene, and Bayer Crop Sciences developed a lot of varieties on drought, right? They are called drought guard. Just highlight what are the crops which have this gene.
Good question. Thank you. At the moment, we have this gene in corn only, and we tested in soybean, but we did not get enough benefit in soybean or designated level of benefit. The gene was functioning, but to become a product, it has to meet a certain level of yield gain, which was not accomplished. So we did not move ahead with soy. It was only in corn at this point, but down the line it may come to rice. Again, depends on the government policies and acceptance and things like that. But it has shown its relevance in rice, which it will be a great day for us if it is moved in the rice. But currently it's only in corn.
Yeah,
So Dr. Netra from Seed Science and Technology. I work as Assistant Seed Research Officer at the Seed Testing Laboratory. So
Yeah.
my specific question is regarding the video meter. We need to standardize for each and every variety with the multiple crops that we have. And is it feasible to put into the routine testing with the video meter?
We have a good question. Videometer we implemented in Hyderabad lab for rice. There are 14 varieties. Yes, you are right. It has to be a variety specific. That's a little challenging. Maybe there should be a way depending upon what's our use case. There could be some way to probably merge algorithm for certain group of hybrids. We can have a common algorithm and things like that. That can be discussed. But there is an example in Hyderabad. If somebody wants to go and visit, I can arrange a lab tour there. We use Videometer for rice with 14 different hybrids.
Thank you,
I
sir.
understand your question. It is challenging because every new variety we have to retrain the algorithm. But once you build a good number of image data, then training and retraining should become reasonably easy. But
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So I have a couple of other questions. May I connect with you over email, if you don't mind?
absolutely, you can. And I have my email ID on my last slide here. Yeah, and Nataraj has my email ID, so you can reach out to me. And also, I'll be there in September, last week of September. So if anyone wants to spend some time, I would be happy to talk to. So Nataraj can help me with that.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's time for us to conclude. Currently, Dr. Ganesh serves as a global seed physiology innovation lead at Bayer. So, seed physiologist and everybody, plant biologists can get connected with Ganesh. I can definitely help. So, with this, Ganesh, thank you so much for spending. I know you have to rush to some other activities. Now you have to sleep. Midnight for you. So before I conclude, I have a final word from the Directorate of Postgraduate Studies Scientific Officer, Dr. Nirmala. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Karba, and thanks, Dr. Ganesh, for your truly inspiring talk. And I'm sure our students and faculty are immensely benefited by that. And thanks for answering their queries also. And as Netra was telling, there are some more queries maybe there. So we hope that you will be able to share your knowledge among the faculty and as well as the students. And hope this midnight inspiration to the students is going to be benefited, and we'll be having collaboration with you in future also. Thank you very much for taking the trouble of inspiring the students in this midnight hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. This is my pleasure. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you, sir.
So with this, let's conclude and thank Ganesh. Ganesh, I'll get connected with you again later.
Sure. Thank you. Good luck for the rest of the sessions.
Yes. Again, apologies for odd hours, making you to
No,
work.
no, no. It's worked out well for me, Nattu. Don't worry. Take care.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you. I'll call you later. Bye.
ಹಲೋ ಕೊಟ್ರೇಶ್ ಕೇಳಿಸಿದ್ಯಾ? ಕೇಳಿಸುತ್ತಾ? ಹಲೋ
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಕರ್ದೆ.
ಕೊಟ್ರೇಶ್ ಹಲೋ.
ಹಲೋ
ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಸೇರ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಡಿ. ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಡು. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಮೋಡಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿ. ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಸೇರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೋ.
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಸರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸರ್. ಬಂತ ಸರ್?
ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಶೇರ್ಡ್.
ಹಾಂ
ಸ್ಲೈಡ್
ಸರ್.
ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಮೋಡಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿ.
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್.
ಮಾಡಿ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಹಂಗೇನೆ
ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸರ್?
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡು.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. Good morning to one and all present there. I am Kotresh, pursuing my third year PhD in Department of Agronomy, and I am doing my PhD under a dual degree program between US, Bangalore, and Western Sydney University, Australia. And coming to the work that I did at US, Bangalore, it is titled as Targeted Contaminant Profiling of Treated Wastewater and Cadmium Stress-Induced Hormesis in Leafy Vegetables. So coming to introduction, the increased water scarcity is driven heavily by variations in the rainfall, and that is pushing us to search for an alternative source of irrigation water. At the same time, there is huge amount of wastewater being generated because of urbanization and rapid population growth. So if we treat this huge amount of wastewater and reuse it for agricultural purposes, that serve as a sustainable option. So with that point, the use of recycled water for agriculture is considered as both a boon and a bane. On one side, it supplies a reliable source of irrigation water along with the inherent nutrients. So thereby it reduces the burden on freshwater resources. But simultaneously, it also supplies inherent contaminants like heavy metals and PFAS compounds. Coming to heavy metals, we know that these are the dense elements which can accumulate in soil as well as in the crop. But coming to PFAS compound, PFAS, it simply stands for per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, which are a wide group of synthetic chemicals that are used in industrial processes and consumer products. And they are used mainly because of their water and grease resistant properties. And these compounds are persistent in environment for a longer duration, so they are often called as forever chemicals. Here I have quoted one example for such compound, that is perfluorooctanoic acid. So now, based on different number of carbon atoms and different functional groups they possess, and they are classified into 40,000 different PFAS compounds. So based on this background, we targeted on studying the uptake and accumulation of these contaminants in the irrigation water by our agricultural crops. So based on that, we formulated three objectives. First one is to characterize the treated wastewater for targeted PFAS compounds. Second one is to assess the bioaccumulation of heavy metal in irrigation water by leafy vegetables. And third one, it is to study the effect of heavy metal in irrigation water on growth and yield of leafy vegetables. And to accomplish these objectives, we have formulated two experiments. First one is characterization of treated wastewater from Yelahanka Sewage Treatment Plant, Bengaluru, and also from Kessi Valley Water Outlet Point, Lakshmi Sagara in Kolar. And at this experiment, we analyzed targeted heavy metals, water quality parameters, targeted pesticides, and few other PFAS compounds. From the physicochemical analysis, it was found that pH and EC of these waters are within the permissible limit. However, the heavy metal content are beyond the FAO standards. Here we can see cadmium is present at a concentration which is 6 times higher than the FAO standards, while chromium is present at 3 times higher concentration than the FAO standards for irrigation water. So this is with respect to heavy metal content. And coming to pesticides and PFAS, we have screened these waters for 16 different pesticides, including insecticides, few fungicides, and herbicides like glyphosate and pendimethalin. And with respect to PFAS, we targeted 17 different PFAS compounds, including the short chain PFBS and up to a longer chain compound, that is perfluorotetradecanoic acid. And from this analysis, we found that with respect to pesticides, there was no residues in these treated wastewater samples, and that is attributed to industrial origin of these waters. And with respect to PFAS compounds, the result revealed a clear site-wise differences. That is, in the first site, Yelahanka Sewage Treatment Plant had only 5 compounds out of the 17 tested one. And here the highest dominant compound is perfluorohexanoic acid. But in case of Casey Valley water outlet point, PFBS has got dominant, and that is up to 15.32 nanograms per liter, and it is followed by perfluorohexanoic acid. So now these concentrations indicate significant contamination, and the site-wise differences is attributed to wastewater sources as well as the treatment efficiency to treat this PFAS compound. This is about the characterization experiment. And coming to second experiment, so this is assessing the effect of low dose cadmium in irrigation water on performance of green leafy vegetables. Here cadmium is chosen because it was detected at 6 times higher than the FAO irrigation standard. The actual concentration detected was 0.06 ppm, and that was taken as the base value to formulate other concentration treatments, which are set at 50% lower and 50% higher than the detected value. So the overall levels of cadmium were 0 ppm, 0.03, 0.06 and 0.09 ppm of cadmium, and that was tested against 3 crops: lettuce, spinach and methi. And these combinations were tested under two different cultivation systems, that is hydroponic as well as soil system. So overall, this design helps us to know the compare the different levels of cadmium influencing different crops, and how the growth medium influences the uptake and accumulation of cadmium as well as influence the yield of these crops. So coming to the results of the experiment, the study witnessed no symptoms of cadmium stress on visual basis among all the 3 studied crops. But with respect to plant height, here we can see in the figure, lettuce has shown decreasing trend in plant height with increasing cadmium concentration, and spinach has shown increasing trend with increasing cadmium concentrations, while methi has shown an increase in the plant height up to 0.06, but then at 0.09 the plant height got decreased. And this response of all the 3 crops, it remains similar between 2 cultivation systems with respect to plant height parameter. Coming to leaf count, here we can see none of the cadmium levels had any effect on the leaf count of any of the 3 studied crops, especially under hydroponic system. In case of soil system also, the responses were non-significant except lettuce and methi at their respective concentrations of 0.06 and 0.09 ppm. So now let us see the response of dry matter accumulation. So here the biphasic hormetic response is clearly visible in all the 3 crops. So what is hormetic effect? It is nothing but the plant growth will be stimulated at lower dose of cadmium, but the plant growth gets inhibited at higher doses of cadmium. Here the dry matter accumulation of lettuce, spinach and methi goes on increasing up to 0.06 ppm. So that represents the initial growth stimulation phase. But later on at 0.09 the growth got decreased. Dry matter accumulation got decreased. So that represents the growth inhibition phase. And so that clearly indicates the hormetic effect. And coming to the shoot cadmium content, and from this figure 5a, we can see lettuce had accumulated lesser amount of cadmium in its shoot, followed by methi. However, Indian spinach had accumulated significant amounts of cadmium in shoots under hydroponic system. But in case of soil, the trend was completely different. So here, lettuce had accumulated significantly higher amounts of cadmium in shoots, especially at higher concentrations of 0.06 and 0.09 ppm. And coming to the root cadmium content, here we can see that the trend remained similar under the hydroponic system. Indian spinach had accumulated more cadmium in roots, but again in soil, the trend was different. Here, methi had accumulated more cadmium in the root portion, especially at 0.06 ppm. So now let us see why these variations are happening between the systems, between the crop and several other factors. So first, between the 2 cultivation systems, we have seen that the growth of 3 crops is more under hydroponic system. And that is because direct availability of nutrient and water. However, there is higher accumulation of cadmium as well. In case of soil grown crops, soil itself acts as a sorbent for cadmium. Hence, it reduces the bioavailability of cadmium to the plants. And between the crop comparison or variations, so that variation can be easily attributed to genetic potential of these crops. And also there is one phenomenon, that is the production of root exudates from these crops as a response against the heavy metal stress. So these root exudates are organic acids which will reduce the pH of the media, hence increase the cadmium bioavailability. And coming to the hormesis effect, the initial stimulation in growth is attributed to increase in physiological and biochemical processes. To be specific, it is the increase in relative chlorophyll content of the leaf. And also there is a phenomenon called hyperpolarization of the root cells. Because of this hyperpolarization, the root's ability to take up the essential cations goes on increasing. As a result, the growth gets stimulated at lower dose of cadmium. But at higher doses, there will be more production of reactive oxygen species that will rupture the lipid membrane of the cells, and hence the growth got inhibited. And between root and shoot, we know root is having more accumulation. That is because of synthesis of phytogelatins. And these compounds will bind the cadmium and store it in the vacuole of the roots, and hence there is less translocation to the shoot. So overall, there was twice cadmium accumulation in root compared to the shoots. And coming to human health risk index, so this value is calculated by dividing daily intake of metals from reference oral dose, which is 1 microgram per kg per day. And by dividing, we can see here all the values of HRI are equal to DIM, and all these values are less than 1, which indicates that these crops are safe for human consumption. And yeah, coming to the conclusion, from the first experiment, we came to know that pesticides were less than 0.01 microgram per liter, and that is likely due to industrial origin of the wastewater. And with respect to PFAS, yes, PFAS were present in both the samples, and in Yelahanka sewage treatment plant sample, there were 5 compounds adding up to 7.42 nanograms of PFAS per liter of water. But in case of KC Valley outlet water, there were 10 different PFAS compounds which were added to 34 nanograms per liter. And coming to heavy metals, cadmium and chromium were present in higher concentrations, which were up to 6 times and 3 times higher than the FAO irrigation water standards. And coming to the crop response to cadmium, we have witnessed biphasic hormetic response. That is the stimulation in growth at lower dose of cadmium, but the inhibition in growth was seen at 0.09 ppm cadmium. And among the soil cultivated crops, it is spinach and methi that accumulated less cadmium in shoots and showed better growth under stress. But in case of hydroponic cultivated crops, spinach had higher shoot uptake, but still it has shown better growth, indicating a kind of resistance. However, lettuce under hydroponic system showed lesser cadmium accumulation and response. Overall, even with the despite elevated uptake, the human health risk index remained below 1, so thus indicating the safety of consuming these crops even though they are cultivated with irrigation water containing cadmium up to 0.09 ppm. So thank you, one and all.
Kotresh, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much for a nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
But what is the motive behind this study?
Sir, actually, we wanted to test how we can use the treated wastewater if it is having the heavy metals and PFAS compounds. So in India, we have studied mainly on the heavy metal with real-time concentration, sir, especially for 0.06 ppm.
Okay, if that is the motivation, if the
Sir,
continuous use of these treated wastewaters,
yes,
what
sir.
may be the effect on a longer run?
Yes, sir. In soil, there will be accumulation of heavy metals in the longer run, sir.
So what would be your recommendation for that?
Sir, actually, treated waters, we have to use it very carefully with all the precautions. And here,
or are you going to recommend any amendments to be applied along with this treated seeded water and all those things?
Yes, sir. We can go for soil applications which will reduce the release of these compounds to the crop. And we can go for selection of crops which are having less uptake potential.
Okay, thank you. Any observations, Banil? Okay, any students? Clarification from the students side? Students. Teachers. Yeah, thank you very much, Kotresh.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Kotresh, ಮುಗೀತು.
Thermobile